Alright, hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. We're back with The Flash. Season 9, Episode 10. A New World Part 1. Reunions. Why did I have to add extra thing? I was happy. Because it's like, okay, A New World Part 1. That is easy for me to put in the title card. Now I have to add reunions to it. Hey, have an old fancy title card and things. So let's get into this, because I have some issues, not with the basic episode, just how they start the episode. But we start with a scene that I missed part of, with Rick Cosnet playing a character, apparently Barry Allen, but I don't buy it. According to people in this group I'm on Facebook, they said like they talk about multiple Barry Allens, so they're talking about him, because he's like, who's at the end of this? He's like, who the hell is Eddie Thawne? I thought he was supposed to be Malcolm Thawne. That's what I don't get what's going on here. He already got me confused. I don't know. I didn't see this scene, and it went very quickly. I was in the middle of trying to cook my pizza. By the way, CW, please stop airing ads for urinary incontinence solutions, please. It's gross. People, like, I get that CW is sitting in this place for older people to, like, watch stuff, but that's not the demographic that watch The Flash, okay? 60, 70-year-old people aren't going to watch The Flash. Maybe they will. But you're airing commercials for incontinence. It's fucking bullshit. But anyway, so I was already very frustrated with the beginning of this episode once the titles came on, because we saw the trailer, right? Barry is stuck in the year 2000. And we were very much, you know, I'm okay, let's hurry up, let's just get to it. First scene. Chester is making Allegra a new suit. Don't care. Next. Don't care. Next, let's get to the thing. No, we gotta go with Joe and Cecile in the cabin in the woods where Joe's making a big dinner with yams. Don't care. Next, let's go on to it. No, we are now with Keone in Caitlin's apartment. She's talking to plants, and I don't care. Let's get on with it. We waste 5 minutes of the opening, maybe more, on filler that does not come back at all in this episode, probably in the next episode, but I don't care. I don't think anyone could have been like, okay, I'm ready for this episode. Barry's getting sent back to the year 2000. I think anyone could have predicted that, oh, we're going to have a bunch of filler that doesn't add to anything right at the beginning. The only thing this does is stretch out the time. It doesn't do anything. It's frustrating. All you had to do was start out with Barry and Iris in their loft, like we get. Talking about, some time has passed because she's like ready to burst. She's getting close to giving birth. So there's been a time jump because she was barely showing last time, and now she's, at least 8 months pregnant now. So I don't know. But yeah, she's talking. They're talking to each other, and then Barry gets engulfed in this blue light, and he's gone. That should have been the first scene of the episode. Don't care about the other filler. That adds nothing. Okay? Bullshit. Bullshit. And the only reason they did that is because they want to have that hook where he ends up in 2000, he sees that, and then we go to a commercial. That's why they did it. Also to stretch out the episode, probably. I didn't need any of that. The rest of this episode was good, I thought. Okay? So he's in the year 2000, and, you know from trailers. The first thing he does, he goes to CCPD, right? And he looks for Joe. Now, he wants help from Joe to find Tina McGee. But you can't tell him who he is or where he's from or anything. And he keeps saying this, I can't tell you who I am, I just need you to trust me. He goes, I gotta trust you. Now, you can trust me, but I need to trust you. You can tell me what's going on. And I'm just like, wait, he just said he can't tell you. And he goes, okay, my name is... And then he notices the date. March 18th, I think it said. Day after St. Patrick's Day. But yes, it is the day Barry's mom dies. That night. So He goes to leave. He calls Professor Stein, and we have a continuity error. He calls Professor Stein. He tells what's going on. He says he's from the future. He needs help. And Stein thinks it's a prank. Eric Wallace, pay fucking attention. Martin Stein would not think it was a joke because within the continuity errorverse, younger version of Martin Stein met the older version of Martin Stein and would firmly believe that time travel exists. So that's bullshit just to get a cameo and not do anything with it. That made no sense to me. It let me scratch in my head. I'm like, no. Given what happened to Martin Stein in the timeline now, he would believe it because he met his older self. He met time travelers. So no, bullshit, Eric Wallace. You should watch Legends and then you know what the fuck's going on. You just wanted a nice little cameo, but, he directed this, by the way, which is, had me worried, but it ended up being okay. So this is where he sees his parents walking down the street. He goes to cross, and he's hit by a red lightning, which is, of course, the Reverse Flash. Matt Lesher version of the Reverse Flash, who is there to kill Barry. Which, we'll get to that in a minute, because it didn't connect in my head. I've been watching season 1 with my son, and I knew why he was there originally. It just didn't connect in my head first. So he's knocked unconscious, and he gets, of course, Henry Allen is a doctor. Nora, that's who he sees. Henry and Nora, and they take him to the doctors. He can't tell them who he is. He just says his name is Bart. Oh, by the way, we get a line. She's like, Henry, he looks just like my father. Okay, she said that. She said that at the end of season 1. And I know some people wanted to hear that, but to me, it just feels out of nowhere. Oh my God, Henry, he looks like my father. Why would you just randomly say that when someone got hit by a car? Or almost, you think got hit by a car. It just doesn't make any sense to me when you just blurt it out, but whatever. So he's in a hospital. He says his name is Bart. Can't say much, but he does spend some time with them. He goes to the lunch, but he can't deal with it, so he goes to leave. He takes a breather, and that's when your boy, Eobard Thawne, Matt Lesher's version, shows up, and he has no idea why he's there. No idea why he's there. I should mention the cops show up. Younger versions of Singh and Joe. And Joe finds the blue crystal. It was at the end of season 8. Now, there could be a lot of people who were very confused when they start watching this, and they're just wondering, wait, what happened to the blue crystal? And I am one of those who's kind of frustrated that if you were going to wait to the last few episodes of the series, of the season, the series, whatever, to do that, why put it at the end of the last season? Because that, to me, should have been setting up. The cliffhanger at the end of season 8 should have been setting up the villain at the beginning of the season. Which is why I thought, when I saw that, I went, oh, he's actually going to do it. He's going to do an entire season based around one thing. He didn't, because common sense is not in Eric Wallace's dictionary. So he went to his stupid ass graphic novel bullshits and gave us I think it was decent. People saying it sucked. Everybody last week when the 9th episode, finally, a good episode of The Flash. Some of the stuff with the first arc was good. Now, I don't understand why it's called Red Death, where they only killed one. She only killed one person. Red Death. More people should have died. We killed one person, but she's Red Death. Yeah, I got it wrong. I said she didn't kill anyone, but apparently she did. Anyway, we are here. Okay, we're finding this arc with the blue crystal. Let's do it. Joe picks it up. He gets possessed by something. We don't know yet. And by the end of the episode, I still am not entirely sure what it is, to be honest. So, basically he's like, oh, you put me here. So I didn't put you here. I had nothing to do with this. And he's like, you're the one that's here to kill me. And I went, no, he's here to kill your mom. Oh, that's right. He actually was there to kill Barry. And a future Flash saves him. And that's why he kills the mom. Okay. Alright. So, I get it. I clicked in my head at that point. So, basically, he's like, I'm going to kill you, Flash. And they have like a little drink, which it wouldn't affect either of them, but like Guinness or something, I don't know. And then Barry leaves to go see his parents again, and he basically says, what would you say to your parents if you talked to them right now? Because he tells them that his parents died, but doesn't think he's Bart, and he's like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but basically talking about their granddaughter, and they're like, I think they would have appreciated that, or would have loved that, and I thought they were outside on their porch, and I'm like, if Barry comes walking up, they're going to be confused as how he knows. No, they're still at the doctor's office for some reason, but, but yeah. And then we get something confusing. So as he's walking through the hospital, he hears his name. Like earlier when when Joe found the crystal, it called to him. And so it calls to Barry now, but it's Joe. And they have a fight. I was very confused by this. Why? Obviously, you fill up the runtime, but why are we having this fight? It just, I don't know. Like, we get a cameo from a doctor named Ranjit Russo, Bloodworks' mother, Bloodworks' mother, cameos, and they, said to CCPD, you have Singh running around trying to see what's going on, and I'm sitting there going, if they do a thing where Joe gets knocked out and he sees Barry standing over him and he gets arrested, I'm not gonna do this because it's just to fill up time. But they don't do that. She's able to knock the crystal out of him. He sees the crystal, but is not able to touch it. And then he super speeds Joe to his patrol car and super speeds out of there. And so we get the scene from the trailer we've been waiting for, which should have told me he hasn't seen that scene yet. So obviously he's not going to get arrested, but still. They're on the street. Reverse Flash says, hey, you're not going to stop me. He goes, no, I'm going to save you. And he basically tells him, hey, if you do this, it's going to screw you over. You're going to die. It's going to be the end of you. I don't believe you, liar. And I hate it when people just call it liar. Like, you're an adult. Don't say it like that. You're not a child, all right? My mom does that sometimes when we're watching Marvel movies. And she knows people are lying. She's like, liar. And it's like, you're 53 years old. You're 54 years old. Don't act like you're 10, okay? Like you're 5. All right, I didn't say it to her face. She'd probably hit me or something. I don't know. But she never hit me growing up. Well, the spanking. But that was my fault for misbehaving, right? I know you're not doing it to your kids anymore. And I can tell you that I never spanked my child. Can't say he's never been spanked. I don't know what his mother did. But I never spanked my child. Anyway. Yeah, so we get the scene. And we get something. Okay, so my theory was that this Barry, our Barry, is the one that comes in and has that fight and saves the little Barry. I was half right. There's somehow another Flash there. Like that's from the future that's there to have the runaround with Thawne. And then there's also the one from the end of season 1 who's there looking. And our Barry is the one that goes to the season 1 Barry. Even though I know people go, actually it can't be because the suit didn't look anything like that. Shut up. Okay? It's a technical thing. And yeah, I don't know. Just shut up. Everything has to be 100% perfect with that scene, okay? But yeah, So, yeah, that he's the one that goes, tells him to stay, or tells him to stay. That one to stay. No interfere. And then we get the whole thing with Eobard losing his speed. That's never really explained, though. Why does he lose his speed? I thought it was going to be revealed. So, this evil Joe, thing that possessed Joe, says he's not the new Avatar, he is the real deal. So he is the Speed Force. So I thought perhaps it's because the Speed Force, or whatever this villain is, the Speed Force, we already know it's going to be Cobalt Blue, but I know it's leading us in a way, sapped it from him. But we don't get that visual, so I'm going to say nah. But, I don't know. He just stops. I don't know why. And then they have a conversation, which, as far as I know, didn't happen in the original timeline, or the timeline season 1, but, you know, it could cut before then, you know. But, yeah, basically, you know, he's like, it's your mom's death, your mother's death. It was a fixed point. You had to save yourself. And then he runs off. He's like, nah. He doesn't run off. He gets blue zapped again. And he goes, no. And the episode ends. I didn't think we were that close already. It flashed over. I'm like, oh, we're done? I was expecting another commercial. Too many goddamn commercials, let me tell you. So we go back to whatever that was at the beginning of the episode with Rick Cosnet supposedly playing a version of Barry Allen. And we get a reenactment of Barry Allen season 1. This time it's Red Lightning striking him, making him Speed Force, and he gets a file on Eddie Thawne, who's now dead. It says deceased. And he goes, who the hell is Eddie Thawne? And I don't know. I'm already starting to see that perhaps it's a missed opportunity. A lot of people are saying it shouldn't be Eddie. But I've always thought Cobalt Blue should have been... See, at the end of season 1, we see Eddie's body thrown into the Speed Force. Alright? And my thought process is that it should have been a version of Eddie warped by the Speed Force. He comes back. He sees a woman that he was in love with, he was going to propose to, who's now married to Barry Allen. Barry is the hero. Barry is the one who has everything, and he has nothing. And that anger, powered with the corruption of the Speed Force or negative Speed Force, whatever, you know, makes him Cobalt Blue. I don't know what they're doing here. If he is supposed to be a version of Barry Allen, to me, that's already a negative. Like, what are you doing? And also, I'm confused because the set photos that went out showed Malcolm Thawne as a name on a headstone or something. So I'm very confused at what the hell is going on. I don't know. Maybe they need to stop letting Eric Wallace write the episodes, because I don't know. It just... There are a lot of times when I watch movies and TV shows, I could have come up with a better idea, and I have. I think, at least. You know, like the idea of, you know, skipping the filler at the beginning of this episode and starting with that scene of Barry and Iris in the loft would have made more sense than filler that literally goes nowhere in this episode. It might go in the next episode. And I'm already worried for the next episode to be a middle filler episode of this arc, because it looks like that Barry is not back yet and they're trying to find him. So it seems like it's going to be a bunch of the side characters looking for Barry the entire episode, and it's really not going to go anywhere. That's what it looks like. And look, if you don't have enough material to fill 4 episodes, don't fucking make it 4 episodes. A whole entire episode of looking for Barry when we could be, you know, pushing the plot forward. To me, now, I'm getting angry over something that hasn't even happened yet. For all I know, the whole looking for Barry thing is a small part of the episode, because the stuff they showed for this episode was also a small part of the episode. So, who knows? But for me, I think this is a decent start. I hope they just keep building forward. There's nothing middling. I don't know. But if Barry's not there, we're stuck with the rest of them. And a lot of people complained when we're following the rest of them instead of the Flash. But I know that Iris is an important character, and supposedly Keone is an important character, so maybe we'll develop those things. I don't know. But I don't know. So I'm very confused, though, at what point in time this is, because it can't be April or May. I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, last episode was good. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on The Flash Season 9, Episode 10? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.